Hi everyone, my name is Chloe and today we are here with another TGI Friend Day. And you guys, we have been talking now for 10 minutes already because this lady is just like, I feel like I'm in the presence of social media greatness. As you can see, she's got her podcasting set up. She's got all the things, but let me just stop and let you introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Stephanie from Steph's Romance Book Talk. I have actually been on booktube since 2015. And that's when I really started like ramping up on, being more of a presence. I started going to book events and things like that, author events, starting to, meet different authors. And it has been a crazy, crazy ride.
So what's your name?
My name, did I not say my name?
I don't think you did.
Okay, I'm Stephanie.
Yes, and your channel name?
My channel name is Steph's Romance Book Talk.
Perfect. It is not a Monday, but it feels like a Monday.
It sure does. Oh my goodness. I mean, I didn't have to get my kid up for, virtual school or anything like that. So that was a good thing.
Oh,
but yeah, that's hilarious. And I've actually already recorded like 5 videos today. So
well, then maybe it's burnout. Maybe that's what's going on.
Maybe that's what it is.
It's brain fry. Yep.
Yeah.
You're just too productive for your own good.
Anyway. Okay. Chloe has now reined me in because I was going there for you guys.
Oh, yeah. So, Steph's Romance Book Talk.
Yes. And I have videos on pretty much everything romance. When I first started, that was all that I read. And now I've ventured out a little bit, just a little.
Okay, yeah. Bit. Okay, hold on. We'll get there. But you're on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter.
Everywhere is, Twitter is Steph _ uncensored.
Okay.
But I'm not active on Twitter.
Okay.
I use it mostly for promotion. But on Instagram, it's Steph's Romance Book Talk. Okay. And on YouTube, it's Steph's Romance Book Talk as well.
And I'll have all of that linked down below. But yeah, she's everywhere. Are you on TikTok?
Yes.
You are? Oh, yeah, because your TikToks, does TikTok go onto Instagram or like?
I have to put them. Have to put them over there.
Okay.
And I can re-edit them.
Yeah.
In some ways because part of the issue with TikTok is their music that they have licensed or the music that is used over there. Sometimes it is specific parts of a song. Whereas the reels over on Instagram, you get to pick what part of the song you want to use.
Interesting.
So there's a lot of tricky things that go on.
The daily reels, though, just give me life.
Do they?
Yes, because like this morning has been one of those mornings. I'm just trying to make some damn brownies, and I've been all morning. And so then I just stopped, and I was like, I'm going to eat lunch by myself and watch Instagram stories. And so that's what I did. But anyway.
I did that as well. Yeah. I did that, and I caught up on some YouTube videos before I came down to prepare for this and recorded some videos.
Yeah.
And another podcast. So, yeah.
It's so, like, YouTube, I feel like is so much work, and it's a lot, but, like, other people's channels just truthfully do make me so happy. And, like, they're just that, like, moment of calm when everything else is chaotic, and you just kind of need a chill pill. Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
I love YouTube. But anyway, how did you get into reading?
So, funny enough, I didn't start reading until later in life. I finished 2 online degrees, and then Hurricane Sandy hit, and the job that I was working at was a government job, and it was part of FEMA. So we were working 12-hour shifts in response to the hurricane, and I was getting wrapped up with my degree, and I had some downtime. I lived close to Washington, D.C., but not close enough that I didn't have to commute for an hour.
Yeah.
So my husband had picked up a Kindle for me, thinking that it was going to help me with my schoolwork. I'd be able to download books, textbooks and things like that. onto the Kindle. But come to find out, that doesn't work very well. So because I was ramping down from my degree and I had a long commute, I picked up my Kindle, and 50 Shades of Grey was all the rage,
Okay.
by E.L. James.
Yep.
And I was on 12-hour night shifts. So I
Yeah.
was like,
Gotta get
that
me some
was,
smut. Yep.
I was going to get me some reading in.
Yep.
And funny enough, that was what I called that's what I considered smut back then.
Sure.
I have since learned that
Yeah.
the book wasn't very smutty. It wasn't necessarily written like super well either,
Yeah.
but it was super addictive.
Yep.
And I definitely credit that series into my now love for romance.
Yeah. That series. So Steph and I have some overlap in the way we read, but she definitely goes a lot darker than I do. But that series, I remember reading that. I was on a trip with my mother on a weekend trip, and I just couldn't stop with the 50 Shades of Grey series.
Right?
Like, it's so, I mean,
It's
and
addictive.
now you see a whole lot of things that are not good about it. But at the time, you just get sucked in, and it's not well written. It's not quality material, but it is addicting. That's for sure.
Definitely.
So what year was that?
That was 2015 for me.
Okay.
The books actually came out, I believe, in 2011, 2012 timeframe.
Okay. So when you started...
Actually, I take that back. It was earlier than that, because I started my YouTube channel in 2015.
Yeah.
But I actually started reading in 2012.
Okay,
like,
that was
heavily
going to be
reading.
my next question, is like, you just kind of, so when you did start reading, did you just kind of like hit the ground running? Like, you're like, hey, I love this, I'm going to do a lot of it? Or did you kind of
Yes.
ease into it? Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part. I didn't learn the different formats of reading until later on. Because I was, let's see, in 2012, I think I read 46 books. And then in 2013, I think I made 100. And
now your numbers are what, like 300 something?
I'm pretty sure I'll hit over 400 books this year.
Wow. That's so many. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So ebook is kind of how you got into them. Is that right? And then now now I know you don't prefer physical. You do mostly ebook and audio.
I've never preferred physical at all.
Really?
When I read 50 Shades of Grey, it was on my e-reader, on my Kindle.
Yeah.
And that is my preferred well, actually, audiobook is now my preferred method.
Yeah.
But I do a lot of advanced reading for a good handful of authors. So I have to get ebooks.
Yep.
And now I use a sort of I guess a combination of text to speech as well as reading the ebook.
Right.
To make it through so many books now.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you a part of Libro FM's program?
No, I'm not.
You're not.
No.
That, I think, is like, could get really addicting.
I am an Audible member, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even now, how do you feel about the Audible Plus? This is like,
I'm sad.
Yeah.
I'm sad that we lost Audible Escape, because Audible Escape helped me through a lot of reading challenges for the like 3 or 4 years that I had it. I had it when, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago. I probably when it first started is when I jumped on. And it really helped me through a lot of, the breakdown of it was very easy to work with. Unlike the Audible Plus now, I haven't really had to try and get into the Audible Plus. Some of the things that are recommended to me are okay, but some of the things I've already read, so it's like, I don't really need to read this again or listen to it again. Yeah,
it was good, but
so
also, so then why do you want to own physical copies, or do you?
Yes. So
clearly
you can see behind me, all of those books are, with the exception of maybe a handful, are signed copies, personally signed copies from the authors to me.
Okay.
like I kind of said in the beginning, I started going to author events in 2016 was my first author event that I went to.
Yeah.
And since that time, I have been to at least 3 author events per year.
Oh, really?
So that means that's hundreds of authors that I have met with, talked with, spoke with, conversated with,
Yeah.
you know,
And that's
things
just
like
so
that.
fun. And so like,
it's always fun to meet other readers, not necessarily just romance readers, just readers in general.
Yeah.
And to be able to talk about books together is so much fun.
Well,
I really enjoy
like
that.
reading at your level or our level is not common. It's not normal.
So not common.
You know, and so then getting a group of those people together, I've never done it because I live in BFE, but I imagine that's like so fun. Just like-minded people.
It's tiring, but at the same time, it is a lot of fun because one of the events that I go to each year is called a Polycon, and that one is actually local to me. So I really try to get to that one as much as I possibly can. Yeah. It's uber expensive, but because I stay at the hotel and I do all of the events, I buy the highest ticket that you can get. But it affords me to speak with authors on a one-on-one level, or be able to talk to other readers and be at the event and do all the special things that come along with that little bit more expensive ticket. But then there's also the event in Philadelphia that I go to that is a one-day event. I only go for half the day most of the time. I drive up in the morning, I drive home in the afternoon. So it's a full day. It's a full day of the event, even though I'm only at the event for maybe 4 hours. But I still get to meet a whole bunch of authors. And one year I did an interview with one of the authors, and
how fun.
It's a huge experience. And I just really, really love them.
Have they all gone virtual? I mean, have they all happened, but virtually this year?
No, not that I know. Well, the one that I spoke about earlier, the one that's local, Polycon, it did do a semi-virtual, and that's just because it happened. It was supposed to happen right as the pandemic hit. So we were all like, are we going to go? Are we not going to go? Are we going to be able to go pick up our books that we wanted? You know, is it just going to be a partial thing? And it was, as the pandemic was like ramping up, it was like, well, we don't know where the state's going to be when it comes to gatherings, things like that. And then they were like, nope, we're all on lockdown. So it all went to Facebook, and it was quite a bit more challenging. And then the event for Philly, I'm not sure that there was anything virtual that ended up happening. They still continued to run their Facebook page and everything like that. So a lot of the authors were posting up promos and things like that. But if you've been on Facebook at all, you know how jumbled and crazy that can get. It's not really conducive to a signing event. It really is. I mean, like a signing event, because you know the requirements for the giveaways change, and it's a lot more technologically just cumbersome. It is all I can really say about that.
So switching gears completely, you started reading again in like 2012-ish, and then you started your channel in 2015. What made you start your channel?
My coworkers got tired of me talking about the books that I was reading. They were like, they happen to be millennials, because I'm not a millennial, I'm an exennial, and they happen to be millennials, and they were like, yo, you talk about books a lot, and you know what, you could probably make some money on YouTube talking about books. Why don't you do that and stop talking to us about your books? Interesting. So I was like, okay, let's see what happens here. I then found booktube and was like, oh wow, these people have hundreds of thousands of people watching them. I should be able to do that.
Too easy, right? just make a channel.
No. It wasn't that easy. It wasn't that easy. It's still not that easy. So
no.
It's definitely about luck of the draw, luck of the YouTube algorithm,
who shouts you out,
shouts
who,
you
yeah,
out. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
it,
Definitely.
it is.
All about
And
that.
regardless, booktube is such a small sector
Of
of
YouTube? Oh
YouTube.
my gosh.
Bree from Falling for Romance sent me because I'm looking for like some mom bloggers or whatever
Mm-hmm.
to follow, because I just find that interesting, and anything to help me get through
Right.
life sometimes. But so
Some
she sent me one.
camaraderie.
Yeah, she sent me one, and they had like 4 million, and they were just like a random like.
Wow.
So then I'm clicking around, and like they're in the millions. Like there
That's
is no
crazy.
booktuber in the million. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
There's so many people. But anyway, so you are primarily a romance reader,
That
but
is correct.
how did you get into that genre? I mean, 50 Shades of Grey, but like, how were you like, you were just hooked, and so you said, I want to continue to read romance? And have you strayed at, like, what else do you like to explore?
So, funny enough, I went into romance thinking it was all about the couple and the journey. I have now learned and realized that it is about the happily ever after, or the happily for now in the end. Um, it it is still about the journey. It is still about, what draws two people, two humans together. Well, I
Mhm.
shouldn't say humans, because I do like an alien romance here or there,
Yeah.
um or a shifter or paranormal,
You
or
know,
things like that. But initially it was about two humans
sure.
coming together. It didn't matter if it was male male, or female female, or male female. It didn't matter if it was a menage. It was about that human journey together to find love.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, since then I do know that it's about the happily ever after, or happily for now.
Right.
um and now I just like the love of it all, and getting
Yeah.
to that happily ever after.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's a shifter, doesn't matter if it's
Sure.
paranormal or alien, or, a hard hitting contemporary,
Right.
or a YA,
Yeah.
new love
Yep.
type thing,
Yeah.
finding out.
Yeah.
I did find that I had to take off my 40 plus year hat when I read some things,
Yeah.
to enjoy them, or to really sort of think to myself while I'm reading them,
Yeah.
could I have been this crazed about a person when I was such and such age,
Yeah.
when I was in college, or
Yep.
if I had went to college, would I
Yep.
be like this type frame of mind? Now, those are the things that I encapsulate when I read
Sure.
all the different subgenres.
Sure. And like for me, I don't know about you, but I'm in my 30s, and I don't feel like high school was that long ago, which it was. It was.
Well,
But I'm like,
well,
I feel like I can still get there. And same with college. I'm like, that was what? How many years ago? It does not feel like I don't feel that old.
right.
And so sometimes I love books like that just like bring you back to that time of when you were
Mm-hmm.
young and silly. But
Yeah. Well, see, I didn't go to college. I went straight into the military, so I missed that whole sort of phenomenon of
yeah,
being on campus, and dealing with what
sure.
have you.
Sure.
And the mention of high school, life is like high school. I mean, I don't think anyone ever
100%.
actually grows out of high school.
It's
I
just
mean,
in a bigger context. Like, yeah, just a
it's just
bigger
in a
pond.
bigger thing,
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean, adults still act like children in so many aspects. I mean,
More
it's
times
just
than not.
crazy.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
so crazy.
So, who are some of your favorite? Because the military is very significant to you, it has been a big part of your life. Um, who are some of your who are some authors that you feel like do it right?
So Rebecca Yarros is probably tops for me at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I read her Flight and Glory series, and I've been following her for a while. I had been following her prior to reading the Flight and Glory series. I read both of her standalone books, The Last Letter and Great and Precious Things before I actually read the Flight and Glory series, which was her first series.
Oh, okay.
And when I finally did read the Flight and Glory series, I was like, yes, Rebecca did it right.
Yeah.
She did it so amazingly perfect.
Yeah.
That I was just, it was an emotional week for me. I actually read all of her books in a week. I think it was a week.
Wow.
I did a vlog for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I know. I remember it.
It's a highly emotional vlog.
Yes.
But the books just put me back into those different aspects of military life. I would definitely say that Corinne Michaels does really good military. Rachel Robinson does great military as well for me. And I know all three of those authors. I have met with them in person.
Yeah.
And I followed each one of them to know that the reason that they get it right is because they are all spouses of military members.
Okay.
And they don't shy away from asking their spouses about real life things.
Sure. Yeah.
And then changing it just that perfect amount to not violate anything when it comes to military regs or security or anything like that.
Right.
To add it to their fictional worlds. And I think the three of them really, really do an amazing job at it.
Well, because I feel like the military is a topic that is tackled a fair amount and it's done wrong a fair amount. And I mean, I live in a community that is relatively close to a Army base. And so the stereotypes about the military, specifically Army, but I mean, it's just those stereotypes you see a lot in military. And I'm personally not involved, but I'm like, that, like, this can be done so much better than this. And so kind of going with that, what are some of your favorite tropes? Not that the military is a trope, but you know.
Ooh, actual tropes. I love a good secret baby. I'm sorry.
You do? What? Wait. So secret baby or accidental baby?
Secret baby.
Okay, I can get more on board with that, but still, what? You might be the unicorn in booktube. Nobody likes secret baby.
I know, right? I like when, I don't know why it is, like, to have a mom or even a dad, because I just read a book that has a dad that's kind of keeping his child. He's a single father that's keeping his child away from the mother because she's bad news. Yes. I like that. And in that one, the couple doesn't get back together. The mother stays away, which is great. Yeah. Because the love interest was so much better for him. But to have like a one night stand, pregnancy happens, you know, there's no issues
of course
or anything
does.
like that. Yeah. There's no issues, just that, you
just
know,
a
pregnancy
stand.
happens and maybe you can't recontact the person, or maybe it's a blind date.
Yeah.
And you end up pregnant because the sex was just so good.
Because that happens.
The sex was so good.
Yep.
And then, you know, years down the road, you guys happen to meet again, or even 6 months down the road, you happen to meet again, and it's like,
oh wait,
you're pregnant. What is what? I love that. I love it. I love it. And then to have the couple like fight it out, or are like, have like this banter, almost enemies to lovers, but not really enemies to lovers, because you know they fell in bed once,
right?
They're gonna fall in bed again.
Yeah,
there's some attraction there. I like that. I just like that.
Interesting.
So, yeah, and I definitely like enemies to lovers too. Friends to lovers is super hard for people to get right. I've only come across a handful of those that do friends to lovers right.
How do you feel like friends to lovers is done wrong?
Um, not giving the reader enough of the actual friendship.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
You know, to actually show them as friends.
Yeah.
Not that I have a secret crush.
Right.
I
Right.
I like all the tropes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I can find flaws in quite a few of them.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, a good secret baby, a good enemies to lovers,
Yeah.
and a good friends to lovers.
Yeah.
Or like not even necessarily friends, but like maybe childhood to lovers.
I love that trope.
Ooh,
I love that
yes,
trope.
I
Especially
could
because
definitely
I
go
feel
to
like
that.
that is an easy way to establish the relationship. Like show us a little bit of their childhood and then
Mm-hmm.
you can jump forward now and that connection is more easily established. And
Yeah,
yeah, I love that trope. So are there any
definitely.
you don't like? Like you really are like, if this has this, I don't want to read this.
I tend to shy away from step anything romances.
Like
Um,
incestual step
n-
stuff or like,
oh, that's a hard line for me right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Anything that is straight up ancestral. Um, not necessarily something that starts off seeming ancestral,
Mm-hmm.
but in turn really isn't. I can sort of get behind that, but
Okay.
if there is like
Yeah.
what, mm,
Yeah.
mm,
You guys, if you
that is
don't
not my
follow
thing.
Steph on something, you are missing out because her views are, like I said, they give me life. Like they are hilarious. All of her reactions are extreme one way or the other, and I love them.
Like I like my dark romance.
Yeah.
I am a dark romance reader, like
Yeah.
Chloe has said before.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
You got to have a line somewhere. Yeah.
that's the line right there. Um, and lots of people. So some people that followed me last year,
Mm-hmm.
that are no longer following me because it was a huge to do. Um, there is a book that was brought to light uh, last year that Colleen Hoover and Kay Webster sort of kind of butted heads with. And you were either Team K or you
Uh-huh.
were Team Coho. And I definitely fell in Team K. I read the book that she wrote and that Colleen spoiled for everyone else. And, it came with warnings. And if you didn't take the journey that Kay took you on, as crazy and messed up and out there as it was, then you missed out on the fact that it wasn't actually incestual. It wasn't a father-daughter relationship. It was a guy that happened to raise someone. And yes, there is that moral gray area that it's like, but he raised her, he shouldn't be having sex with her
Yeah.
type thing, you know? So if you didn't take the journey, then you wouldn't understand the flow of it. But to get to that part in the book and then just stop and think that you know what actually happens,
Yeah.
um, is, I think, doing an injustice
Yeah.
for the actual journey of it.
Sure.
And like I said, I'm definitely all about the journey of a story. So
Yeah.
I do enjoy
So,
that.
kind of off of that, what's your DNF policy? Do you DNF, and if so, do you rate them?
So it takes a lot for me to DNF a book. I have very loose and changing criterias for DNFs.
Okay.
Um, for the most part, if there is anything racist that doesn't change, or doesn't even feel like it's going to change,
Mm-hmm.
it's getting DNF'd. If um if there is a cross line of incestuous type
Sure.
deal, um I'm definitely crossing it off. not a fan of dark romances set with YA characters. So
Okay.
people under the age of 18 and dark things are happening to them, taboo things are happening to them. I'm DNFing it unless it is a story that is, here's the flashback of something that happened in childhood, and this is the adult now.
But being stuck in that world of the YA.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. But being YA as a story, so pretty much YA bully stories, not my thing.
Yeah.
Not my thing.
Yeah.
And then there's one more. I think there's one more.
So do you rate them?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I write a scathing review.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. That's interesting. And do you have a certain percentage or anything that you feel like you have to get to before you rate?
I like to keep it at about 50%. I've actually DNF'd a book at the 80% mark.
I have too, which is so like, why?
That review and rating was not hard for me to do.
Yeah.
But definitely I did it. So
yeah.
You know. And if I feel strongly about the book itself, I'll definitely, I don't shy away from my ratings. If I can't see that someone would enjoy the book or like have a feeling that there's a possibility of someone enjoying this or getting something out of it, then it's more likely that I will hate read it to the end.
Yeah.
Speed read it to the end.
Yeah.
Speed up the audio of it to the end, and then it doesn't go down as a DNF. It just goes down as a dumpster fire 2 or 1 star book. So yeah, there's that.
So what do you wish there was more of in the book world? Is there any genre, trope, representation? Is there anything you feel like is really, really missing?
You know, surprisingly, I don't feel that there's anything that is missing, because I am one of those people that believes if there's something that you want in the book world, there's someone writing it.
Yeah.
All it takes is you to take the time yourself to go out and find it.
Yeah.
So that's sort of where I fall in that. If you are looking for alien romance, if you're looking for dinosaur romance, there is someone out there writing some dinosaur romance.
Thank you, Kindle Unlimited.
Yes.
It's on there.
Yes. It is on there. You can find it in some format. I mean, even if you had to go to fan fiction, there's someone writing fan fiction about something that you want to love and things like that. And that's a double-edged sword too, because there's those morally horrifying things that people are writing about and people are reading them. So
that's a whole nother ballgame. Yeah. Do you feel like the same can be said for booktube, that anything you think you want to watch is out there?
Oh yes, most definitely. Definitely. You just have to take the time to look for it.
Like we talked about, like nobody's going to be huge, and so nobody's probably going to be uber recommended, but I think there are a lot more people doing booktube than you realize.
Oh yeah.
Or Bookstagram or some sort of social media.
Oh, definitely. Social media is taking over the world.
Yes. Yes. Especially like this year, I feel like has kicked that into overdrive because it's all we've got.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you can see it in the different algorithms for all of the platforms. Loads of people are saying how much their view times and how much their views are down or their subscriptions are down. And it's all because everyone's flooding to it, and we're dealing with a artificial intelligence that's doing the algorithm, because there's no one person sitting at YouTube typing up the code. Okay, this is what we're going to look for today. No, it's a computer that's taking in all of the millions of video submissions and saying, this is what we want these people to, you know, watch at this time. And these are the ads that are going to be, you know, put on for different things. I have been stalked by a male dragon shifter ad for at least the last like 2 or 3 weeks.
But you have to just read the book. You have
I'm like, okay, I think at some point I'm going to break down and, you know, get the book and read it, because YouTube thinks that I need to read this.
Like, what are you Googling or what are you watching?
I have no clue. They also think that I need to buy more pretzels for my husband. So I definitely think that one's going to happen.
Yeah, I would get on board with that. Yep.
You know, because the pretzels ended
up being probably amazing. Him being like, buy me pretzels. He's probably coding things and getting, I like these.
Yes. That was a good buy. Buy some more.
That's exactly right. I need some. Soft pretzels are life. What do you guys dip them into?
There's no dipping.
No dipping.
No dipping. There's just salts and sugars. And they have this French toast sugar that was absolutely amazing. They have a chocolate espresso sugar that's so good too. I didn't find a difference between the regular salt and the white truffle salt. And then,
what company is this? Do they want to sponsor you?
No, right? So, have you been asked to sponsor anything? Wondering.
Like, I mean, like random stuff on Instagram that it's like,
right?
Yeah, but no. Otherwise, no. So, yeah, I'm just a little guy in the sea of YouTube, I guess. Yeah,
I'm just a little guy too.
Yeah,
I'm just a little guy too.
I know. But well, I follow. This is a complete tangent, but I forget Brad and Aubrey Bromlow. I don't even know what their channel name is, but they're like Fitspo people. They're exercise people, whatever. She's pregnant right now, and all she is interested in is Annie Ann's pretzels. And so they like straight up sent her like hundreds of dollars of Annie Ann's stuff.
Wow.
And
that's awesome.
Like, I'm like, how do you do that? Do I
know, right?
Working out more? Will that do it for me? Can I stop talking about books and start working out? Give me some pretzels.
Something. I definitely feel that way about some things. I'm like, how can I get on that one? Like Tea Turtle. Yeah. I mean, I wear their t-shirts in pretty much every single video that I make. And I'm like, I've been saying for like quite a few years, hey, Tea Turtle, you want to sponsor me? Because I'm more than happy to wear your t-shirts.
Right. I'm doing it all the time anyway. Send them to me for free. Come on. So, okay, this video will air after the new year. So tell me your favorite books of 2020. Book or books.
Chloe, what?
Pick a couple. It's not bound, and I think it'll come out after your favorites video. If it doesn't, you can tell me 2019's favorites.
I can't even remember 2019.
I can't even remember yesterday. So I'm dreading making favorites videos and stuff because I'm like, I can't remember everything I read, but
oh goodness. I'm so behind. I need to prepare all of my Bookish Academy Award nominations, and I'm so behind on my tracking that it is making it super hard to make sure that I get those videos out. Gosh. Okay. Well, off the top of my head, I'm going to go with Like Lovers Do by Tracy Livesey.
Yeah.
Which is a girls' trips novel. It's about a super badass orthopedic surgeon fellow. Her and her semi-roommate, I guess you could actually call him her landlord, because she lives on his estate. And they end up doing like a fake dating sort of thing, but they also exchange some sexy pictures on accident via text message. And there are some very interesting topics that are talked about within this story, and I loved every single moment of it.
Good deal.
Another actual author that I found this year was Kenya Wright, and her The Lion and the Mouse series was absolutely amazing. There's actually been a couple books released that I haven't read yet because I'm like holding off on them. I don't want the series to end yet. But Kenya has been putting out some amazing interracial mafia sort of stories. She did a book called Quarantine and Chill, and you would think that a story about the pandemic that we are currently in wouldn't be a good story to tell. And she took the best and sort of the worst parts of it. She tackles anxiety in it. She tackles the quarantine itself, secret crushes, sister's best friend. They get confined together. So forced proximity. And all in that, if you get the ebook, make sure that you are looking at your pages as you are reading, because there are some not safe for work illustrations that are absolutely amazing. And Kenya actually just dropped a teaser that she's doing a Christmas story in the similar fashion, and I am so excited for it.
Is it coming out this year?
Excited. Well, it'll come out in 2020.
Okay.
So by the time you guys see this, you guys should have already been able to read it, and I have probably already talked about it. Yes. As soon as it comes out, I am getting it.
Yes. Any other favorites? Or, okay, let's go to least favorites. And if you say Verity, I'm ending the video right here.
No, I will not say Verity. I will not say it.
Okay.
I have strong feelings about Verity.
Yes.
And it does not get Colleen Hoover off of my do not read list. But it is not the worst book that I read this year. I would probably have to say there have been a handful. You know what? Let me just look at my phone real quick.
Okay.
We'll go to Goodreads. Which, by the way, if you're not a Goodreads friend of mine, please do. I'll make sure that Chloe has like the link for my link tree so you guys can be friends with me.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So that you can check out all my shelves, because I sort my shelves on Goodreads to the hilt.
You do.
Anything that you wanted to find, you could definitely find them on
Have
there.
you always done that, or did you like do a massive binge of organizing?
I think it was in 2016 timeframe is when I really started breaking them out into different categories. And it was just off of the suggestion probably from other YouTubers and booktubers that were really pushing their Goodreads and things like that. So I was like, I'm going to follow the trend and, break it all out. And it has come in so much handy, especially when people are like, can you recommend me this? And I'm like, go to my Goodreads.
Yes.
You shall find it there.
Well, and I've gone to your Goodreads for different tropes and things, especially for readathons, and but now it's overwhelming to me to do.
So another trash novel that I will never read ever again.
Okay.
Horrible was Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. Yes, I'm throwing it into
You're putting it out there. Yep.
If you love that movie, stick with the movie.
Stay
far away from the book. The book is
interesting. I read Rules of Magic, but I have not read Practical Magic.
What did you think of Rules of Magic? Because that's the prequel to Practical
Magic. Right. Well, because I was like, I want to read this story. And so then I was like, I don't know what order to read it in. So I picked up Rules of Magic. Mm-hmm. And I remember it was all right. I mean, it was not, I haven't read on in the series, and it was, I would guess, like a 3-star read for me. Just all right.
Wow.
I didn't have strong feelings either way about Rules of Magic.
Maybe I should have read that one first. Maybe because it's a prequel, I should have read it
I
first.
don't think it matters. It's about a different generation. So then, like, the next book is about the next generation. And so, I mean, I feel like, but then I think this third one that just came out is like maybe a prequel to all of that. It just came out? I think so. Maybe I'm wrong. Gosh. I can't remember, but I feel like there was, I don't know. But
that's crazy.
I hate when books are like written out of order or whatever. I'm like, I don't know how to consume this, so I'm not even gonna try.
Definitely. And I guess that's it. Like, I didn't like No Judgments by Meg Cabot, but it probably wasn't written for my age group. Yeah. And that could be why I didn't like it. Also, You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hobel.
Yeah.
I've heard lots of people like that one. I wasn't a fan.
I've heard really mixed reviews that it takes like Hate to Love almost too far, like to not.
It wasn't even. I mean, they were just bad
nasty
to each other.
Yeah,
it was like, and I believe I DNF'd that one at like 50 or 60%, and I was like,
this is not fun.
At this point, what is their redeeming qualities? You two need to just separate. You need to not be together. Period. Yeah, that's
Did you read the one by Vari McFarlane?
Ugh.
It's got a purple cover.
If I Had You, or
If I Never Met You? If I Never Met You?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I didn't like that.
Actually ARC read that one. So I think it fell into last year for me. It might have been this year for me. I'm not sure when I read that for
Booktube-a-thon Reading Rush. I read that for Reading Rush because that was the group book, and I mean, we all know how that went, but yeah, I didn't like that.
Well, I had issue with it. Some people say that it's written in own voices, which I find very, very hard to believe. 2, supposedly it's about a Black woman or mixed woman, biracial woman, and part of the description is that she had hair like Audrey Hepburn.
Not a mixed woman.
I'm like,
she's pretty white. Pretty white.
Yeah. And if you look at the cover, it's a dark-skinned woman on there. And I'm like, And then the fact that she was so hung up on her ex through the majority of the story, I was like, but you got Boo over here trying to vie for your... That's what... Still hung up on him. That's where I was like...
It was just too long of the getting over process. And I get it was a very long relationship and she had every right to be upset, but like, you've got, this is, it's again, just not pleasant to read about. Like, I didn't, I didn't like her. With her being not a very like not relatable, but like a realistic main character. And then, so it's like, I wasn't like caring to follow her because she was just,
right.
So meh. Okay, what are you currently reading?
Oh goodness. So okay, currently while we are recording this, I will be reading the 5 new books in the Salvation series, the Salvation Society. So
by who?
The Salvation series is written by Corinne Michaels. However, she allowed about 40 different authors to sort of play in the world, not taking any of her main characters, but taking their offspring or people that may have been mentioned within the series and expounding the world. And
that's so cool.
To this point, I have read 10 of those books. And I'm going to be reading the next 5, and I'm super excited. I haven't taken the quick peek at what the stories are about, which characters are going to be expounded on, or how they may sort of be elaborated on. I did see a trailer for one of them, and it's about the PR daughter. So one of the couples from the Salvation series, they have a PR company, and one half of it is the mom for the Salvation series, and she has a company, and the daughter ends up becoming pretty much a PR prodigy as well. And if I am not mistaken, from the hints from the trailer, the daughter ends up getting involved with a movie star, and there's a trip to Vegas, and there might be a
We all know how that
marriage.
ends. Yeah.
And I am super excited. Whoever made the trailer, I can't quote it right now, but the person that made the trailer did a really, really good job, and definitely
Cool.
has me intrigued. So I'll be
Cool.
jumping into that one, as well as 4 other books within the society,
That's so cool.
exploring
I
the
haven't
new
heard of that,
characters.
but that is really
So.
neat. Okay, are you ready? We are going to do a rapid fire this or that. Okay?
Okay.
So just say what you think.
Yep.
Like that's a problem. Okay, buy or borrow?
Buy.
Quiet or background noise?
Background noise.
Indoor or outdoor?
Indoor. Always. Always indoor.
Who needs outdoors? Meet your favorite author or meet your favorite character?
Favorite author.
Okay. Book to film or book to TV show?
I can't decide on that one, because there are some books and book series that need the TV show, and there are some books that deserve and can be encapsulated into just the own movie. So I'm saying both.
Okay. Do you watch a lot of adaptations?
Yes.
Yeah. Classics or new releases?
New releases, always. Classics suck.
Yeah. Okay. No new books or no rereading?
No rereading.
That one's so hard.
Yeah.
Because
Because I'm not a big
100%.
rereader. There's only been a handful of books that I will go back and reread.
Like, think about your favorites, never being able to touch those again.
I know them well enough to not
Not
necessarily
need to.
need to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And there's always fan fiction.
No. Mm-mm.
Standalones or series?
Oof. That's another hard one,
Yeah.
because my favorite author can do both, and she hasn't lately. And that standalone, she had me left on a cliffhanger. So, series.
Okay. Who is this favorite author you speak of?
Alethea Romig. I've read every single one of her books, and even her standalone that she has. Some of her light books are standalones as well, and I want more from them. And the one standalone that's a dark romance or a psychological romance, however you want to sort of put it, has an open ending, and we constantly, her readers and we're constantly like, so what really happened at the end of this book?
Yeah.
You're going to tell us, right? And she continuously and has always just gave us a
Ooh. Okay. Solo or book club? Do you like to read by yourself, or like do you like reading for a group
probably
purpose?
a solo.
Yeah.
Because I read so much faster than so many people.
That is hard.
So
yeah. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
And what's your favorite snack?
Ooh.
Has nothing to do with books, but
I would probably have to say Twix.
Ooh, that's a good.
I can snack on a Twix anytime.
Are you more of a sweet person or salty?
Oh, that probably depends on the time of month.
And for me, the time of day, like, yeah.
I'm
both.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, funny. Well, that's all I've got. We could stay here forever and ever and ever, but I hear children outside my door. So
Mine is off going with his father to get a flu shot, and I think they're taking things to like the leaves that they
Oh
collected
yeah.
to the dump. So
Yeah. Spoiler,
yep.
we're filming this in fall.
Yeah.
At the very end of fall, but yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Welcome.
Everybody, please go check Steph out. She is so much fun and just so great. So please check her out. Steph, thank you for joining, and we'll see you in the next one.
Alrighty.
Bye.